Most true white folks do not consider the mongrelizing of the pure white race as being a virtue. Anyone who's not a Northern European in America is a mongrel and is contributing to the ruin of America. Where you're bringing over the people that you consider undesirable, then you're going to have children with these people. You can't unring that bell. Hi, my name is Danielle Romero, and here on my channel we study American identity and family stories. I'm a historian, and I've got my master's degree in education, and I almost never bring this up because I think you can be a historian without going to school for it formally, but it's relevant right now. So right now we're in the middle of studying the Racial Integrity Act. This was an act passed in 1924 in Virginia, but it had long arms, where there was this push to try to make America a racially pure white nation. I just put out the first episode last week, got a lot of comments, and I wanted to respond to one comment in particular that, to be quite honest, took my breath away. Nothing that someone can say can get at me, but sometimes the comments are so shocking that I can't believe these people are truly rubbing shoulders with me at Target, at the grocery store. I feel like comments like this, well, I should take a step back. I see myself as a centrist, probably a populist. I mean, I don't know a lot of the political jargon. I don't really like to pick a term and put myself under that umbrella. That's just not my style. Comments like this, I feel like they're radicalizing me, truly. If you didn't watch that video, a law had passed in Virginia where they were going after people who had any African ancestry at all. I mean, we're talking could be like 7 generations back. Someone got their feathers ruffled. Okay. This person said, I would say the creator of this video is one obsessed with race, and being recognized as colored obviously upsets her. It appears she considers coloreds as inferior to whites and is trying desperately to pass as white. Such views are by definition racist. Now, this is nonsense. So I just responded and I just said, you go after all historians or just ones who study this era. I'm using primary sources from the Library of Congress. Now, one thing that happens a lot is, and the spicy part we're going to get to, you're allowed to study basically any history you want except this. I didn't know that till I got on YouTube. My channel started with family stories, but it's tangential to my family story and many other family stories here in the United States and abroad, where there are secrets to the family tree. You need historical context to understand that. I've been trying to create that and provide that as well. Talking about the history of race in America does not make one racist. This is just a terrible argument that I see over and over again. It's like saying that the fire alarm beeping is the cause for the fire. No. That fire has been burning. The alarm is letting you know something is wrong. So he said, I do not consider slurring people as studying history. So he didn't like that I didn't like the Racial Integrity Act. My family came from England to Virginia in 1701. My parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents supported the Racial Integrity Act. They were not sick, as you have slurred them. I would beg to differ, but we'll get to that. The name Racial Integrity Act itself indicates the virtue of the act and its supporters. Most true white folks do not consider the mongrelizing of the pure white race as being a virtue. We know what it is, racial genocide. I want to pause here and talk about genocide. The idea that you're going to take people from other continents, bring them over as slaves, and also eradicate and enslave people who are already here. And I'm not saying like all these people are innocent in this mix. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the idea that you're going to come to an occupied territory, bringing slaves with you, and babies are born. They're not coming from the Cabbage Patch. Like, where do you think these babies are coming from? These babies usually are the result of a white man and a non-white woman. So this mongrelizing idea, we'll get to that too. We know what it is, racial genocide. Here's the thing. If racial purity, I do believe that nations should be allowed to retain the essence of who they are, but if his family is from England, well, go stay in England. Be English in England. If left unchecked, the result will be a future with no people with blue eyes or blonde hair or white skin. Here's the crux of it. He's making an assumption about me and a bunch of other people if they don't have certain features. I wonder if he would consider Colin Firth a mongrel. White folks who consider that result as good are sick. Look around you. The society you live in was created by white men, aka Northern Europeans. Keep that in your head. We developed technology, we created culture, all this stuff. Okay. So he's going on about all the things that Northern Europeans have done. And then he ends his comment with Latin. Now, I took Latin for a couple years in college, or a couple semesters in college. I can't remember now. I took Latin, I took Spanish, and I took Russian. And what I know about Latin, I shared with him here. I said, well, you don't consider Italians to be white, because he's saying Northern Europeans, blonde hair, blue eyes, only Northern Europeans. I said, you mentioned Northern Europeans, and yet you finished your essay in Latin, which originated in Italy. Here is one of the main issues. It's true. People say, well, you shouldn't have videos to say, well, how Italians became white. That's garbage. That's stuff like that. Dude, there are people out there right now who are like, America should only be Northern European. At the time of the Racial Integrity Act, literally the same year, that was the year that immigration was essentially halted from many other countries, and it halted 99.6% of Southern Italians, or just Italians really, but Southern Italians were the ones coming, Southern Italians from immigrating to the United States. My dad's grandfather got in, I think, 1923 or something. I mean, he just barely made that cut to get into the US. Anyone who's not a Northern European in America is a mongrel and is contributing to the ruin of America. This is way more widely held of a belief than I want to admit, honestly, because it is sad to me. Okay, so that's this person's comment. I want to read one other comment to you from the same video. This person said, let me make something historically clear. I'm like, oof, okay. This is getting historical with me. The country was created for the immigration of white people and not non-whites. Cry all you want to. You aren't white. You'll never be white. So stop crying about it. You will always be a 14th Amendment citizen, as will all of your descendants. You know I'm proud of my ancestry. All my ancestry, the Irish, the Italian, the African, the Creole, the Mexican, the indigenous, all the ones I don't even know about yet. There's a ton that I don't even know yet. But my ancestry is mostly European. I am mostly European. I was raised to see myself not as white. I said that before, but really I was raised to be Italian. You can see getting a little passionate here. How are we still in a world where there are people gatekeeping who is white enough to be an American? I don't deny, I truly, and this is where maybe I'm too centrist, I truly don't deny a country the right to want to be the essence of who they are. That's fine. But if you're going to bring over millions of enslaved people to come to your work, or you're bringing over the people that you consider undesirable, then you're going to have children with these people. You can't unring that bell. You can't unring that bell. What does it look like for in 2024 for people to be trying to unring that bell now? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I have to say, there is not one day that I have ever regretted sitting here publicly to the whole world talking about all my ancestry as I'm finding it out in real time. Because like I said, I was raised to see myself as Italian, kind of Irish, maybe a little French, didn't know anything about the rest of my heritage. And I've been doing that publicly here with you. And it's not only me learning this stuff publicly, but it's learning how the world is reacting to me publicly. How are they reacting to me? How have they been reacting to me where I didn't realize? But there are so many folks like this out there coming after me. And I'm like, if they're coming after me, who was not raised as a person of color, did not see myself that way, what the heck is happening to all of the people out there who aren't ambiguous, who are just I'm just so frustrated. I'm so heartbroken because, like I said, I don't ever want to get political. These people are making it political. I'm a history teacher. This is what I do. I'm studying American history. So there are parts of American history that we're not allowed to talk about. It makes us racist to talk about racism in the past. Make that make sense for me. I'm still going to work on this series. I want to show you a little sneak peek on an upcoming video. I have a newspaper.com subscription. I love it because I love primary sources. I want the primary sources. Show me the primary sources. Well, here's one. July 22nd, 1923. Is white America to become a Negroid nation? Yes, unless Anglo-Saxons wake to danger, declares the world noted ethnologist. You know why America could become a Negroid nation? Because you brought people from Africa to do your work for you. First of all, calling it a Negroid nation is insane. Like, that's an insane thing to say, okay? But if you have that concern, are you not able to reflect on what you have done to create the situation we are in? If you're so concerned about the racial integrity of the Caucasian race, I'm reading this very tiny print, then you shouldn't have brought the slaves here. You shouldn't have babies with these slaves. You shouldn't have had created this system and situation that was not tenable. This was an untenable situation, and yeah, here we are. And I'm happy to live alongside you, whatever color skin you have, whatever kind of hair you have, whatever your eyes look like. I don't care, because I see everyone as an American. That is the connection that we have to each other. But that's not enough for some people. And so, at least for now, I'm gonna hang around. So thank you so much for being here with me. And if you'd like to support the work I'm doing, hopping over to Patreon, you can check out my website, nytonashville.com. But thank you for being here. And we're going to dive into some more primary sources in the next episode. So I hope I'll see you there. Otherwise, we'll talk soon.